presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are FC.
Royals baseball from Kauffman Stadium for Game 2 between the Royals and the Rays. The Royals will hope to put an end to the long consecutive scoreless inning streak and hopefully get on a roll tonight and put an end to a 5-game losing streak. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. Joe Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery are coming up. Everyone will ask the manager, what do you do in a situation like this? You ask the batting coach, what do you do in a situation like this? Well, Ned Yost shared with us before the game tonight that maybe it's a case of the try too hards, and so they're going to try easier tonight.
That's right. He shut down batting practice. That's a good idea. Other rules managers have show up on time and give me 100% of what you have. Now, some of these players obviously are at 80%, some 70, but they're given 100% of that effort. That's exactly what a skipper wants. He's okay with it. These guys are not quitters. They will come out of it.
And they'll try and put an end to the streak against Tampa Bay right-hander Alex Cobb, while Jacob Junis makes a start for the Royals. That Royals pitcher Danny Duffy had been arrested on Sunday night here in Kansas City under the suspicion of driving under the influence. Danny had come back to Kansas City prior to the Royals arriving from Cleveland that same Sunday night. Danny was here in Kansas City getting an MRI on his left elbow. He is currently on the disabled list. It is a legal matter now, but Danny Duffy, while he did not take questions from the media earlier today, this was his statement at a press conference about 3 hours ago.
Just wanted to say that, you know, for the situation that's been put at hand, I apologize for the distraction, especially with where the team's at right now. You know, regardless if we had been on a run or not, this is never a good time for this situation to come about. You know, to every kid out there that looks up to me, that has read a headline, seen something, you know, looks up to me, I just continue to do great for this city. Promise you that. You know, I think any of y'all know me. This is you know, something that's very difficult to go through, and you know, when everything comes out and shakes out, I'm gonna be better because of it.
Back to our game tonight. Jacob Junis will make the start for the Royals. Joel and Monty will discuss him when we come back.
Royals baseball on Fox Sports Kansas City is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all for less. Jacob Junis back to the hill. Just under 7 minutes to first pitch when Junis, the rookie, will get set to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. It's been a rough month for Royals pitching. The only starters with multiple quality starts, Jason Hamill and Jacob Junis. And Junis, Monty, the only Royals starter with an ERA under 4 in August. What has been so good? How has he evolved in the month of August?
Well, I think the biggest thing about Jacob Junis, which is something that every player has to do, they have to prove, more importantly to anybody, that to themselves, they have what it takes to be effective and to be successful here in the major leagues. And he's going to be in his driver's seat. Look at the numbers in August. Outstanding work from Jacob Junis. He's getting better every time out there. Love the way he's really cut down on his pitches per inning. 13.2 in the month of August.
And just 1 walk, 7 strikeouts last game, all on the slider. But the Royals will have their hands full tonight with Cobb. More coming up.
Sports Kansas City is brought to you by the Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest lasting full-size pickup on the road. Find yours at your local Mid-America Chevy dealer. By the Missouri Lottery, every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Ford, going further so you can. In addition to the long scoreless streak, the Royals have lost 5 in a row. That was after a 3-game winning streak. Tampa Bay has won 6 of their last 8. That was after losing 12 of 15. The lineups and the first pitch are coming up next. .6 degrees at first pitch tonight. Tampa Bay took game 1 last night 12-0. They hit 3 home runs, and they now have 4 batters in their lineup who have 25 or more home runs this year. Lucas Duda, Logan Morrison, Steven Souza Jr. and Corey Dickerson. The Rays are the only major league team with 4 players with 25 or more home runs. Jacob Junis will make the start tonight, his 10th start at the big league level.
Jacob Junis has been one of the most consistent starters in his last few starts for our Academy Sports and Outdoors. The put away pitch on that slider is a good one. Nice job. 31% of those pitches. He's been really sharp as he's able to get ahead with his fastball and finish those guys off. 30 of his 49 total strikeouts are on that pitch.
Kevin Kiermaier last night opened the game by swinging at Ian Kennedy's first pitch and blooping a double into center field. And Kiermaier, when it was all said and done, he was on base 4 times. He scored twice and drove in a run. Fouled away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And talking about his slider being a put-away pitch, on Thursday, Junis took a no decision against the Rockies. He tied his career high with 7 strikeouts, all with his slider.
It's a good one. He'll throw it any count, but he likes to, like most pitchers, get the fastball established and then go to it.
And his first strikeout tonight is with his slider.
There it is. It always amazes me, of course, that super slow motion camera. That's a beautiful thing. But when any guy's on the side of the ball like that, how can he get it and command it when he's barely even gripping the ball? Moss, he's out in left field. It's 4th start this year out there. Excuse me, third and left.
Lucas Duda with one out, and he hits a shot foul behind first base. Duda hit a 3-run home run in the 3rd inning. He has 25 home runs altogether, 8 with the Rays since coming over to Tampa Bay in a trade at the end of July.
He was able to take that breaking ball from Kennedy upper part of the zone.
Lorenzo Cain waits in center field. There are 2 down. So Junis has pitched well, and the Royals have played well when he's been on the mound as a starter. The Royals are 6-3 in his 9 starts.
And that's winning him points. If now you don't as an individual, if you don't necessarily have to win games for your numbers, but man, it's good for the team.
We just showed you a shot of our camera position out in center field, right next to Morgan. Yeah, Morgan's calling out. Morgan's throwing that concession stand under the bus. If the wind is right, it will blow some of the smoke from the barbecues right in front of our center field camera. 0-2 on Evan Longoria. Longoria drove in a run and scored a run last night.
I never knew that was there was a place out there behind the board. It's because it's hidden behind the board from where we are. Don't get a chance to get out there very often on foot,
but by air maybe, or by boat.
Yeah,
no,
I guess
okay.
It would be by foot. Oh,
that was off speed, and Longoria's on with 2 down.
breaking ball. It clipped him. It's Junis' 8th hit batter.
Logan Morrison came very close to hitting 2 home runs last night. Ended up hitting a 3-run shot in the 9th inning, adding to his career high 32. He had never hit more than 23 in a big league season. The Rays do a lot of swinging at the first pitch of an at bat.
You can see that colorful bat. Some of them still using the bats from this past weekend. And that was pretty popular. I mean, I talked with Alex Gordon about it yesterday, and he says, man, they should do that every day. We should do that every game next year. Let us just wear the shoes and show our personality the whole year. I said, man, good idea. But some of the bats are left over.
That is inside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Morrison is a pull hitter. He pulls most of his homers. Now he's got power to opposite field, but not at this ballpark. Locane, center fielder, he's playing him to pull as well on pull side. You see Whitley. Shallow right.
Two and 2.
There you go. They're doing the best they can with their defenders right here trying to cover this area. That's what they're doing.
It's almost 70% of the balls that he puts in play.
Yep. Very slight breeze tonight.
Strike 3, and Junis strikes out 2 in a scoreless top of the 1st inning. It'll be Merrifield, Cain, and Cabrera coming up against right-hander Alex Cobb. Ed Yost has Jorge Bonifacio in the starting lineup tonight. With Brandon Moss in the field, Alex Gordon will begin the game on the Royals bench. And the Royals will face Alex Cobb, who is making his 25th start, his second start since coming off the disabled list. And now time for AARP's Getting to Know Alex Cobb, and here's his pitch breakdown.
That's right. He's a 3-pitch mix. Fastball, curve, split finger changeup is what that is. And it's a pitch that moves down and out of the zone. Curve balls, he's going to flip up there. He'll kind of start a hitter with it, sometimes try to finish him with it. But his fastball is decent. He's going to go around 88 to 92 with that pitch. Averages about 91. Likes to pitch inside. Likes to come inside to both lefties and righties.
Longoria cuts it off on the left side, turns around and almost threw it away. Logan Morrison kept his foot on the bag. 1 down.
The Rays on defense. Ramos, he's a good catch and throw guy. 28% caught stealing in his career. Souza in right, good speed, got a good arm. Longoria, he's got skills at third base.
Lorenzo Cain with 1 out. The Royals were held to just 2 hits last night by Rays pitching, and both hits were Lorenzo Cain doubles. That's nothing new for the Rays. They're used to that. Since the beginning of 2014, Lorenzo Cain is hitting .447 against the Rays with 20 runs scored. There is a lot to keep track of as you try to manage Alex Cobb's pitching motion.
Yeah, I was just going to say that last night's starter Austin Pruitt had a little delay in his delivery, and Cobb, very interesting, stiff front leg, the left leg. Watch this. He just brings it straight up.
Morrison kept it on the infield, and they got an out. So says first base umpire Bill Welke. The Royals will check in with Bill Duplessis.
Excellent recovery by Morrison at first base. Ooh, looked like that he might have got in there, huh? That particular one. Let me see. They're waiting to see if they want to replay it. Look at that, though. It's a nice play, though. Cobb got in the way of Locane. Locane's and him are fortunate they didn't have a little mix-up there and somebody went down.
And Ned is going to ask for a challenge.
And by this view right here, is that foot down before it's in the glove? I think so.
Sure looks like it.
Locane, good for him. He is the master of infield hits this year. 18th. Good speed, always gives 100% when he goes down there. Plus he feels like he's got the plays right in front of him. He sees it. If he can just get there, he can do it.
The crowd just got a good look at the replay we've already shown you. So much though that Lorenzo Cain has left the dugout and heading back to first base, so he feels pretty confident after seeing that replay. And now the headsets come off, and Lorenzo is safe with an infield hit.
Like I said before, good thing there was no collision there. But when the pitcher crosses the bag like that or at the same time as the runner, lots of times that's not good outcome. But look at Locane. He's helping first base umpire with the save call.
And it's usually the runner who gets hurt on a play like that because he will do something awkward or unorthodox to avoid the collision.
Yeah, when you slow your body down running at that speed, that happens. He's quick too. He's got quick feet. Does Cobb short arm action. That means he's short and direct. It's like a catcher. Goes right to his ear. Good short. He's accurate with his throws.
Up and away, ball one on Melky Cabrera. Cobb has picked off 10 in his career. Half of those have come this season. That's the second most in the major leagues. Tied for the second most behind the Padres' Clayton Richard. Didn't sound like he made solid contact, and Melky flies out to Kiermaier in center field. Kane is back to first with one out. There's Pedro Grifol. The Royals also announced today that Rusty Kuntz will no longer coach first base. Rusty recently had some eye surgery, and as that recovers, his eyesight has not been very good. And last night there were a couple of line drive foul balls that whistled by him, and that was the last straw. Rusty's safety became an issue, so he will continue to coach the base runners and position the outfielders, but he will be in the dugout for the rest of the regular season.
Behind the net. It's dangerous out there. There's a reason that the base coaches have helmets now. I wish they would go ahead and wear ear flaps, because, you know, really your whole neck and everything's exposed to those line drives. You see Locane there has a flap. You know, that protects the head, but look at all the ear to the neck exposure there.
Fastball for a strike from Alex Cobb to Eric Hosmer. And when these two match up, it is hard to forget that scary moment that we witnessed in St. Petersburg when Eric Hosmer hit Alex Cobb with a line drive, and Alex Cobb was taken off the field on a stretcher. 0-2 the count. Gosh, that was 4 years ago. Can you believe that? June 15, 2013.
That was not a pretty sight, but the one thing that told us he was conscious was he picked up his leg and he bent his leg back and forth. And so we were like, oh, he's alive. It was a terrible sight. I wasn't there in spring training when Salvi hit Chapman. Were you there for that?
I was not there for that game, but
I missed that. I'm glad I did. I didn't need to see that, but I'd heard Fizz was telling me about how nasty that was and how they just stopped the game, the spring training game, saying it was a terrible feel, and everybody was like, oh man.
Eric was 0 for 3 last night. That put an end to an impressive streak that he had, 21 consecutive games reaching base. And he's down on 3 pitches. So Kane is stranded at first, and the Royals are scoreless in the bottom of the first.
Reminder, folks, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. We do have a ball game. I mean, I said there's not much going on. There is, but there's no score.
Some will say there is always something going on during a baseball game. You may not notice. There's always something going on. Steven Souza Jr. is having a career season. Across the knees for a strike. Quiet last night, 0 for 4 with a walk, but career highs in home runs, RBIs, runs scored, you name it. 0-2. Walks. So he's had a big spike in his on base percentage. One ball, 2 strikes. Came over in a trade with the Washington Nationals a couple of off seasons ago. Steven Souza Jr.
He's got big pop. I like the way he plays. He hustles, runs hard. Yesterday, ground ball out. He was busting it all the way down the line and even into the outfield.
Jacob Junis has 3 strikeouts. 3 of his first 4 outs have been by way of a strikeout.
Yeah, you know, he's got a lot of confidence going. You mentioned it earlier, how the team wins when he pitches, and he may not necessarily get the win in his name, but the team wins, he wins. Because the manager loves him. His teammates say, hey, look, we're coming to the ballpark today. We know we're going to win because Junis is pitching. That's the whole name of the game right there, every day in baseball. Who's your starting pitcher, and do you have confidence in him to win?
Big rip by Corey Dickerson. He was beat by a fastball. You know what will be interesting to watch in his last starts of 2017? How many strikeouts Jacob Junis starts to get with his fastball? Count is no balls, 2 strikes. And I bring that up because the league is figuring out how good his slider is, and he's been getting a lot of strikeouts with that. And how many hitters will be looking for a slider with 2 strikes because they know that's his out pitch, and can he zip a fastball by them when they're looking slider?
By the looks of his heater today, he's got great movement. He's got there's a little bit of late life to his heater. Because again, he can get outs with that pitch.
3 straight fastballs to Dickerson, and Kane runs over into left center field to make the play with Moss in left tonight. 2 down.
You would much rather look for that heater than that slider, especially if he's putting his slider where he wants it. There it is. Inside heater. See the movement? That's nice right there. He's got some good tailing action, that heater. So yeah, he's got confidence in that pitch, and especially first time through with these hitters. If he establishes that little 2-seamer and he's getting outs on that, that's going to make that slider even better.
Wilson Ramos with 2 down. He hit a home run to center field in the 3rd inning last night. The Rays had a big 3rd inning. They scored half of their runs in a 6-run 3rd inning. Duda and Ramos homered in that inning. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. That leads us to our Toyota League leaders. This is another team that relies heavily on the home run ball, and of all those teams listed, only 1 is at 500, or I should say above 500. Milwaukee is above 500. Texas is at 500. And a lot of times when you see a team that relies that much on home runs for runs, it's usually not a great season offensively.
Yeah, and then if you are fortunate enough to get to postseason where pitching is dominant, you can pitch under the bat. Oh, changeup.
Merrifield.
Oh,
still got him. That play seemed like it took a minute to complete, but it goes 1-4-3 for the final out of the second inning.
He hit a changeup back to him. He jumped too soon, and look at Whitley. One heck of a play.
We're here at Kauffman Stadium as the Royals and Rays continue. Joe Goldberg down by the dugout, and the very rare sight at Kauffman Stadium in the bottom half of the inning, as we see Rusty Kuntz actually in the dugout. That's certainly unusual. Ryan talked before about him now needing to sit out the rest of the year. He's got astigmatism in his eye, and he's still going to be able to do everything but coach first base. We know that Rusty will spend hours and hours scouring video and pitchers' moves in preparation for the game. He's still down there giving encouragement. He's still doing his usual. But guys, just talking to him, he said that Lorenzo Cain hit a couple of balls last night. Mike Moustakas shot one about 5 feet from him, and he said he never saw it. He also compared it to almost watching that ball off the bat through a bottle of water. So very blurry and tough to see. Remember, Ryan, what was it, maybe in Detroit or sometime recently, when he said that Joe West had to tell him that a ball was coming his way, and we thought that that was a joke. Like, if Joe West is telling you, you know you're in trouble. But that indeed was the case. This is a safety factor. He's still going to be in there in the dugout giving encouragement. I just heard him as the guys were coming in with his patented, "Come on, player, let's go, player." And he also pointed out to me the last time that he wore a hat instead of a batting helmet was last year's picture day.
And what was today?
Picture day.
Picture
but unfortunately, this will continue the rest of the year. But let's just not forget, one of the reasons why Rusty is so good is all of the other many things that he does.
Thanks, Joel. There's a curveball down and into Mike Moustakas. And Ned Yost said that Pedro Grifol will be the first base coach for today and tomorrow. And then during the September call-ups, the Royals can call up an additional coach from the minor leagues. And so it sounds like whoever that coach is will take over as first base coach. (2-0). That's a pitch that Alex Cobb has really developed since coming back from his Tommy John surgery. Monty was talking about how that has affected how much he throws his changeup, but that fastball that starts in on a left-hand batter and ends up being a strike, that's what struck out Eric Hosmer for the last out of the first inning. And then he had Mike Moustakas taking, and it still caught the inside edge.
Yeah, you know, you don't have but a split second to pick up the pitch, and when it's out of the release point, it looks like it's going to be a ball, and then the two seam comes back across the middle. They'll make a mental note of that next time around.
Kiermaier was deep, so he has to come in to make the play. 2 down in the second inning.
And you'll see on his breaking ball, his knuckles, his index finger knuckle is up. They call that a spike curve. That's to get a little better grip on there. 3-pitch mix. He's effective, though. He's a pitcher. He knows where to control it. And the curveball is a very difficult pitch to control. It's a field pitch, but he's got good control. He can put it pretty much where he wants to.
Jorge Bonifacio with 2 down. Cracked his bat, and Morrison is not able to catch up to it. It's 0-1. Bonifacio did not play last night. 15 home runs in his rookie season, with a little over a month to go in the regular year. Tied for 7th most all-time by a Royals rookie, and the most since Eric Hosmer hit 19 in 2011.
He could do 20, streaky as he is. Those hanging breaking balls he handles, that's where he's been getting most of his hits. Those homers, especially on curveballs, up.
In on him, and it's just foul.
He might have lost another bat.
2 swings, 2 broken bats.
So now Cobb, he's a curveball pitcher. Talk about a curveball hitter, but he likes to throw them curves 32.8% of the time. Second highest. Jorge Bonifacio, he hits .342 off curveballs. Most hitters will tell you they like the ones that start out at the release point right about on your eye, and that ends up hanging over the plate. They're up, you can hit them a little easier.
And that curveball struck him out. That's Cobb's second strikeout, and the Royals are 3 up, 3 down in the second inning. As part of the big story nationally, the Astros are supposed to be at home right now hosting the Rangers, but because of the flooding, that series has moved to Tropicana Field, the home of the Rays. The Rays are here, and instead of that ballpark being vacant at the moment, the Astros and the Rays are playing a 3-game series at Tropicana Field. Brad Miller leads off the top of the 3rd inning and fouls it away. We hope you'll join Major League Baseball in its efforts to help victims of the devastation caused by Hurricane Harvey by visiting ucaring.com/MLB supports. Hoping to raise a lot of money for the flood relief efforts with that Rangers Astros game in St. Petersburg. 2 balls and 1 strike. And on a personal note, we'd like to thank the 100+ workers at our Fox Technical Operations Center in the Woodlands, Texas. They arrived at work on Friday afternoon and have stayed there ever since, keeping our regional networks on the air throughout Hurricane Harvey and its aftermath. They are now in their 5th day. Most have not been back to their homes yet. They have been at our facility working and sleeping on cots. Miller is down on strikes, and that is 4 for Jacob Junis.
Yeah, you know, that's the master control city there in Houston. And I understand Justin has been there with us. He's in charge of our game. And Justin, thank you so much. Tell your comrades there and your working partners that we really appreciate what they're doing. And we pray for you guys and your families that you can get back soon, hopefully to a dry home. Yeah, it's amazing. I've never been in anything like that before. I can't imagine.
Echeverria grounds it out to Escobar. He is out. So first time through the order, the Rays have 1 base runner, and that was Junis hitting Longoria with a 1-2 breaking ball. And that's a big reason why right there. Of the first 9 batters he faced, he threw a first pitch strike to 8.
Just looks composed. I mean, that's one of the things there that's been the most impressive thing for Ned Yost. He says, you know what, the guy, he rarely looks rattled. And, you know, when he's going good, you wouldn't know it. When he's going bad, you wouldn't either. We haven't seen too much bad. But that's the whole key, controlling your emotions as a pitcher, because everybody watches you. All eyes are on that pitcher because that's where the ball comes from. It's 90% of it.
Chop to the right side. Witt charges. That's a short toss to Hosmer. And it took just 8 pitches for Junis to get through the top of the 3rd. And after losing his father to ALS, Jay decided to dedicate the majority of his adult life to fighting and raising awareness about ALS. Since 1986, he has served on the board of directors with the Kansas City chapter of the ALS Association and spent 3.5 years as the association's chairman. Under his leadership, the association began a transformation which saw the local chapters taking on more key responsibilities in the development of association policies and procedures, and sitting in the Buck O'Neill legacy seat at tonight's game.
Thank you, Jay.
Brandon Moss, Alcides Escobar, and Whit Merrifield. The Royals are scoreless in the first 2 innings tonight, so the streak has reached 45 consecutive innings. The streak began in the 3rd inning on Thursday afternoon against the Rockies. The inning before that, Brandon Moss hit a leadoff home run to give the Royals an early lead against Colorado. They were going for a sweep that afternoon. That's below the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Moss 2 for 14 against Cobb in his career. Looking for one around the belt.
That is his 3rd strikeout. His 2nd with a curveball.
Couldn't quite see the index finger there that's up on the seam. That's called a spike curve, but it's a beauty. Hitters don't really care for that pitch much unless it's a hanger.
Alcides Escobar with 1 out. Esky's been hot and cold lately. That's pulled foul. At one point he had an 0 for 20 and then turned that into a hot stretch, hitting about 350 for about 10 days or so, and now 1 for his last 18. Oh, and 2.
Outfield swung over to the right side. Infield straight up.
Well hit, but 1 hop to Miller, who was cheating toward the middle. 2 down. Final game of the series and this short homestand is tomorrow night. It's another student night presented by Inc. Magazine. You can purchase tickets for only $10 with your student ID. Plus enjoy a happy hour special at the Boulevard Radler Station concession stand as you listen to live local music on the outfield experience stage before the game. Go to Royals.com/student night for the full list of bands and to purchase tickets. Down and in, ball 1. Whit grounded out to 3rd in the 1st inning.
That is what I would say is a rhythmic delivery. Very smooth. Has 2 pauses during that delivery. From the very start, right here, he'll stop right there. He's got another one there. And here it comes. Get him.
Deep. Left field corner. Gone. And so is the streak.
So much for the rhythmic delivery there. Is that inside heater at 92. Watch Merrifield pull his hands in. Very nice. Kept his hands in, barrels the ball, and was no problem staying fair. No doubt.
So the streak ends at 45 consecutive innings. Kane grounds it to Longoria. It's off of his glove to Echeverria. It's off of his hand. And Kane is on with 2 down.
Short hop. Longoria, he's an excellent fielder. He tried to charge it and get that short hop, but it ended up being a long hop and cost him.
So the streak is over, and now will that result in a bunch of runs? Melky Cabrera flied out to center field in the first inning.
Well, let's hope so, but you know, Cobb, he's like you said, he's a pitcher. He likes to pitch. He's not a thrower. Good command. Everything's contagious in this game.
So last Thursday, Brandon Moss hit a home run leading off the second inning. And then the Royals had 45 consecutive scoreless innings until Whit Merrifield's 2-out home run in the third. Fouled away. Kane had a great jump, but it was so good, I think in his mind he was thinking it was too good to be true. So he stopped. If he had continued to run, and he's frustrated over at first base, he might have stolen that base without a slide.
He's only been caught twice. He's got 23 on the season.
Grounded out to Morrison, and that'll do it. But the Royals take the lead. They put an end to the scoreless streak. Whit Merrifield hits his 16th home run of the season, and the Royals lead 1-0. Merrifield, he had 2 last year for the Royals. This one releases the pressure of a long consecutive scoreless innings drought. And now the 1-0 lead. Lucas Duda will lead off. He homered in the game last night, his 8th Since joining the Rays, our Kubota Power Stats, only JD Martinez, who went from the Tigers to the Diamondbacks, has more by traded players right around the deadline. You know, another guy on that list, Eduardo Nunez. We saw him. He had just arrived in Boston after being traded from the Giants, and he took off immediately with his new team. And that's not a category that you would immediately connect Nunez with home runs. He has 7 for the Red Sox.
Yeah, another name I noticed on there was Tim Beckham, former Ray. And we were in Baltimore when he got there, and he went off right away as well. Sometimes you change that uniform, a lot of things happen. Good things.
And good things for Jacob Junis. He has yet to allow a hit in 3 1/3 innings. Duda is 0 for 2. Junis has already struck out 4.
Interesting, you hear the term a lot. Change in uniforms was good for him, or it was, you know, just a change and going from one city to the next. Same game here as it is anywhere else in the country.
Longoria was hit by a pitch in the first inning. He was down in the count 1-2, and Junis missed with a breaking ball and hit Longoria. Now a slider is pulled to deep short. Escobar on the close play gets Longoria, 2 down.
You hear him say starting pitching sets the tone, and boy does it. Last 4 starters for the Royals, you know, they were already in the hole deep. The offense couldn't pull out. Now Junis is out there in command, looking good, executing his pitches, keeping the ball down. Same guy we saw last start. Tied his career high in 7 strikeouts.
One of his strikeouts tonight is against Logan Morrison. That slider misses outside. Shallow left center field. 3 Royals in pursuit, and Lorenzo Cain has it. After an 8-pitch 3rd inning, Junis has a 7-pitch 4th. By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer are ready for whatever your summer brings. Hurry in to your nearest Jeep dealer for the clearance event of the summer. Good start for Jacob Junis. He has allowed 1 base runner and no hits in his first 4 innings. So good news on the pitching front. The big story, of course, was the Royals' consecutive innings without scoring a run. It ended at 45 on Whit Merrifield's 2-out home run in the 3rd. Curveball for a strike to Eric Hosmer. He took a called 3rd strike to end the 1st inning. Breaking ball, and that's lined into center field. 158 hits for Eric Hosmer, 2nd most in the American League.
That's right. Go ahead, Oz. Stay up the middle. Breaking ball was right in the middle of the plate. Easy read for Haas. Stayed in the middle.
Salvador Perez grounded out to short in the 2nd inning. And that ball gets by Ramos. He had no chance. Runner at 2nd base with nobody out. That's a wild pitch on Alex Cobb, to say the least.
Oh man, he just spiked that. This is 4th wild pitch. Haas is in there easily. Now you're not going to ask Salvi to move him over to try to hit the ball to the right side. Just try to knock him in, period. Wherever he pitches it. Now Salvi's still a little bit sore, but hopefully he can connect.
Two and 0.
It's pretty good average right there with runners in scoring position right here in this situation.
Line foul back into the crowd. 2-1. Don't forget about the Sweet Life with Salvi. Enter to win at royals.com/Salvi for a private meet and greet with Salvador Perez. You'll attend batting practice and get an exclusive VIP suite experience at the game September 28th. That's compliments of Price Chopper. Two and 2, and that stung. Salvi's trying to do his best to mask the painful swings. And that was one of them.
It's really too bad. But this is what players do. Baseball players endure. They play with pain.
Breaking ball stayed up, and that one hurt so badly he went down to a knee and dropped his bat. It's a shooting pain. It's not a chronic throbbing pain. So the swing, and then it's like he's electrocuted, and then it just slowly goes away, and that helps him being able to endure it. Three and 2.
Yeah, he's been laying off a lot of those breaking balls because he doesn't want to swing wildly, and it hurts him. So sometimes, like you mentioned, when you saw Johnny Damon, when he hurt himself, a good example there. He didn't want to swing at the bad ball, so he just laid off him, and he actually had better numbers.
Ended up doing really well when he was bothered by that oblique strain. 3-2. And sometimes after a swing, he just needs to get out of the batter's box and catch his breath. Echeverria charges, makes an off-balance throw, and Salvi's out. That was probably ball 4. 1 down. Hosmer has to hold at second base. In addition to his quirky pitching motion and all the nuances, especially when he's pitching out of the bullpen, Alex Cobb is one of the slowest workers in the American League. You spend a lot of time waiting in the batter's box in between pitches. Only Masahiro Tanaka and Yu Darvish, both Japanese pitchers, are slower, and that's a very slow pace game.
It is, and I was just going to say a few times here early in this game about how a Japanese pitching coach would love Cobb. He's the perfect pitcher for that, and you just showed the fact that he takes his time. That game over there is like, oh man, they start at 6 so that people can catch the train.
Jason Hamill also on that list.
Yeah, but that's the way he has some hesitation. He's deceptive and sneaky quick.
And not to mention, just being a slower pace game over in Japan, but it's more of a breaking ball league, right? I mean, there's a lot of 3-ball, 2-strike counts.
A lot of slop is what a hitter calls it. A lot of slop, but it makes you better. I had a hard time with breaking balls my entire career in the majors. 5 years before I went over there, had about 450 or 500 at bats, came back, had my best seasons in my mid-30s because of that experience of learning how to spread out a little bit and hit that breaking ball. It's all about getting outs. It's not about overpowering guys.
Line drive to left field. Mike Moustakas on an 0-2 pitch. He drives in Eric Hosmer. Now the Royals have scored in 2 consecutive innings after going scoreless in 45 consecutive innings.
And that's how you do it. You don't always rely on the long ball. That's a beautiful swing by Moose. He recognized it was up in the zone, but it was away from his power. So he just laid it out there to left field like he can do. Hey, see this? He recognizes it's way off the plate. I mean, it's not just on the outer half of the plate. It's off. Now, look, he's going to go back with his hands. Okay, this is really nice. Now, all of his weight's here on his back foot. Steps, recognizes, but look where the contact's made, right over the plate there. If you're going to pull a homer, you pull it right there. Beautiful. We've got to wait till the ball travels deep to the catcher's glove, and he made contact right when that ball was over the plate.
Moustakas drives in his 78th. Bonifacio struck out on a curveball in the second inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. We had a Mike Jershely sighting with Eric Hosmer scoring from second base.
He might have to get some ice on that shoulder after the game.
It has been almost a week since Mike Jershely has waved a runner home.
Wow.
You got to go back to Wednesday. Now the Royals last scored on Thursday, but those were 2 home runs. One by Merrifield, another by Moss. But the last time Mike Jershely waved a runner home was in the 7th inning on Wednesday night here against the Rockies. And look at him, he's got to stretch out a little bit. That took a lot out of him.
Cheers. Way to go, buddy.
And now that bounces away and gets Mike Moustakas into scoring position. That's a second wild pitch thrown by Cobb in this inning.
Big overhand breaker. Look at now, Ramos doing everything you're supposed to do there, but sometimes you can't control the bounce. He put his elbows in, thumbs out, tried to square it up on his chest protector, but just wasn't going to happen.
Back through the middle, and a little confusion. Moustakas holds at third. It looked like Echeverria thought that Miller had it, and that Miller thought that Echeverria had it.
Nice seeing eye single. Top spin. 1, 2, 3 through the infield. That was on the shortstop side. Moose had a full steam coming by third base, and Jersley held him. Moose gave him a good look. He was looking to score there. Got to capitalize on this opportunity here. Now Moss is going to be looking up in the zone for that hanging curve or anything he can drive to the outfield. Get that run home.
That'll be slice foul. 0-1 on Moss. He struck out on a curve in the third inning. Moustakas drove in Hosmer. He's at third. Bonifacio just reached with a single. In the dirt, Bonifacio takes off for second base, and he's in there. He was not running immediately, so it's going to be another wild pitch, and that's 3 in this inning for Cobb.
Yeah, hit the front of the plate there and kicked way up on him. Ramos checking Moose down there. Good throw. Couldn't hold on.
Cobb had 3 wild pitches in his first 154 innings, and now he has 3 in this inning. 1 and 2.
Okay, you got the 1, 2, 3, but he's going to spread out a little bit there. Miller will. He's giving some secrets over there to Morrison. But there's a lot of holes, a lot of lanes there. Try to look up in the zone, drive it. Even with 2 strikes, stay away from the 1 down.
Just got a piece of it and stays alive. Got it with a breaking ball down and out of the strike zone. So exactly what Cobb needed with runners at second and third and 1 out.
Yeah, you know, he's seen Cobb enough to know that when that breaking ball comes out at the waist, it's going to end up on the ground. Got to discipline yourself somehow, some way, and find a way to make some contact and get that run home. Don't need to swing for the downs in that situation.
And now let's see if Escobar can pick him up. Esky grounded out to second, hit it hard, but out in the third inning. He is 1 for his last 19. So he is due. Did he go? No. Bill Welke is the crew chief and the first base umpire.
I don't think it was an attempted swing.
Right.
Just, you know.
You could argue he came close to the front plane of the plate or the first base line, whatever the first base umpire uses. But yeah, he didn't appear to be attempting to strike the ball. That's inside, 2-0. The Royals' scoreless streak was right on the edge of 46 consecutive innings when Whit Merrifield hit a 2-run home run in the third. And now the Royals have added a run in the fourth. Mike Moustakas driving in Eric Hosmer. Escobar bats with runners at second and third and 2 down. Longoria makes the play in the hole and throws a strike over to Morrison. Mike Moustakas was down in the count 0-2. And with this base hit to left field, he gives the Royals a 2-0 lead.
Beautiful swing. We promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Jake Junis, exactly what the Royals need. A starter to stand up and miss some bats. That's a beautiful thing. He's finishing high, he's finishing low. 4 innings, no hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts. He's been dealing. So far, so good. Stay on the beam, Jake.
The only runner for the Rays was Evan Longoria when he was hit by a pitch with 2 down in the first inning. You'll get Steven Souza Jr., Corey Dickerson, and Wilson Ramos. A lot of power coming up for the Rays. And Souza was fooled badly by a slider. Junis struck him out with a fastball in the second inning. And it was a fastball right down the middle, which made me wonder, was he looking for a slider and was surprised by the fastball?
Sometimes that happens. You don't want to be, though. I know it. Most hitters, they don't want to miss that fastball.
Moustakas throws a rocket over to Hosmer, 1 down.
I just love most Moose's fundamentals. Now he's not the rangiest third baseman in the league, but anything he catches and gets to, you're out at first. That's the mark of a big leaguer. Watch how he'll circle around. Oops, excuse me. He'll circle around. See, now he's getting momentum coming this way towards his target. Look at that. He's lining up his foot, his front shoulder, and he's going right over the top. That's perfect. He learned that as a shortstop, I guarantee you. Shortstops, third baseman, any ball to your left like that, you circle around the ball and get some momentum going to first, makes the throw a lot easier.
Corey Dickerson just discarded something over to the first base side.
It was
the Royals ball boy went and picked it up.
It was a cup that was stuck to his cleats.
A wax paper cup?
It was. That's good to take that off before you run.
Dickerson was out on a fly ball to center field in the second inning. Before the third inning tonight, the last time the Royals had scored was Thursday afternoon against Germán Marquez, a rookie right-hand pitcher for the Rockies. Brandon Moss hit a home run against Marquez. Germán Marquez went from the Rays to the Rockies for Corey Dickerson. And that would appear to be a trade that's working for both teams. Dickerson is having a career year with 25 home runs. Marquez is one of 3 good young pitchers for Colorado. They have 3 rookies in the rotation who have 10 or more wins this year.
Impressive. Most of them all just had fastballs, so they didn't have any breaking pitches. They will. They'll develop them.
Dickerson hit that ball right off the ground, and it gets by Hosmer and Merrifield. And now Dickerson is hurting. It's a base hit.
Haas took at the last minute. He hesitated. He goes, you know what? I'll let Whitley take it. And then Whitley, he thought he had it the whole way. Oh, look at that! He stubbed his right toe and his ankle with that shin guard. Strap came undone right before he got to the base, and it almost hurt him. I mean, it almost tripped over it. That's why I never like to wear anything on my shins, my feet. If you're a runner, that's going to hold you back, distract you a little bit. Something strapped to your feet when you're a runner. It's uncomfortable. Let's look at this.
He's still hurt. So it's a single, 1-on-1 out to Wilson Ramos. Slider, and it's 0-1. Ramos hit a soft line drive back to Junis, so softly that Jake went up for it and was on his way back down by the time it went over his head. And with a play that took forever to finish, Whit Merrifield charged in from second base and ended up throwing out Ramos.
You don't see many plays like that. Second baseman to get to that ball. Most of them are going to move that way, but they're going to assume the pitcher's going to catch that. But Whitley, he busted in the whole way, and he's got good speed. He used it. And his athleticism to catch and throw way across his body to get the runner was impressive.
A 3-pitch strikeout. And for Junis, that is his 5th.
Missouri Lottery Fox Tracks will show you that ball's exactly where he wanted to put it. Off the plate. Get him to swing.
And now Brad Miller with a runner at first base and 2 down. Slider for strike 1. And on a very similar pitch, Miller took a called 3rd strike in the 3rd inning. Miller is hitting .193 with 6 home runs. And we were talking an inning or so ago about the Rays trading Tim Beckham over to the Orioles, and he took off with the Orioles because the Rays decided to go with Miller instead of Beckham. He has more walks than hits.
Wow. That's hard to do.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Got to go back to 2011, the last time a full-time player finished with more walks than hits. Adam Dunn. One ball, 2 strikes. Miller hit 30 home runs last year for the Rays. He had never hit more than 11. And I'm always curious when a non-home run type hitter has a big home run season, how does that affect his next year and the rest of his career?
Yeah.
The Rays get their first hit, a single with 1 out, but Jacob Junis has 5 scoreless innings.
Nothing. Bottom of the 5th at the K. Whitley. He got it all started. Yeah, he did. Our cricket wireless is something to smile about. I'll tell you, all the fans that are here at the K were smiling. Better believe that. Ah, the streak is over. Scoreless streak ends at 45 innings, and that's that. They don't ever want to see it again. I doubt they will. Whitley here leading off. Bottom of the 5th.
And that home run came with 2 outs. So the Royals were close to extending that streak to 46 innings. He is homered and he is grounded out to 3rd. One ball, 1 strike. So a home run in the 3rd. And then Mike Moustakas drove in Eric Hosmer in the 4th. And while Cobb gave up another run in that inning, that was a victory for him that he only allowed 1. He had 3 wild pitches in that inning. Curveball for a strike. Royals had runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. And after a long duel with Brandon Moss, Cobb struck out Moss and then got Escobar to ground out. Up and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
His fastball, I'm impressed with it. You know, he's averaging 91 coming in, but I've seen some 92s, 93s, firm with movement on it. Sharp enough to make his off speed look good.
Fastball at 93, and that is his 5th strikeout. Coming up on the next homestand, it's our 3rd annual Yoga Day. Sunday, September 10th, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. This themed ticket package includes a pregame 1-hour yoga practice on the outfield grass, a Royals themed yoga mat, and a light breakfast at Rivals. And you'll have a ticket to watch the Royals take on the Minnesota Twins. Royals.com/theme tickets. Breaking ball strike to Lorenzo Cain. He had an infield single in the first inning where he was first ruled out. The Royals challenged and it was overturned. And Lorenzo has reached on an error by Longoria. There's another chance for Longoria. A bare hand. Out.
Hey,
and they may challenge again.
It looks to me like he beat it again. Wow. And the same thing, he gave the safe sign as he crossed the base. He knows. Let's check it out. He gets the top of the ball. He's off to the races. He's not going to look back. Longo, excellent at making this play. Did that foot get down in front? Yeah.
What?
Look at it. Yeah, and he hit the front part of the base, right where you're looking. Of course, they're gonna challenge it, and they should.
What did Lorenzo Cain ever do to Bill Welke?
I don't know, but Cain is flying.
That's the first reaction from the crowd. And the headsets will not stay on very long. And for the second time tonight, Lorenzo Cain goes from being out to reaching with an infield single. So he could easily be 0 for 3 without replay. Instead, he is 2 for 3.
Yeah, I mean, those are plays that really aren't even tied. That was clear that he beat that.
Melky Cabrera has flied to center field and grounded out to first.
Now, when Melky made his last out last time when Locaine was on first base, Lorenzo, as Melky hit the ball, was doing a delay steal. Okay, now I don't know if the Rays picked up on that. They might have, but it was the third out. The inning was over. But Cobb's so quick with his feet, his move's so good. Locaine's going to his secondary steal, and that's the delay, where you take 3 crow hops and then take off. And by the most catchers and infielders are looking at the base runner as the pitcher lets go of the ball to see if he's going to get a jump. The fact that they don't see it, that disguises it.
He just got a really good jump, and Melky grounds it to the left side. Nobody at third base. Melky's out, and Cain keeps on running. He'll be at third with 2 down.
That's an instinctive play there. As Locaine was running on the pitch, got a great jump. Too bad Melky swung and at least didn't hit the hole, but he could see nobody was there. But if he heads up, Cobb with the wild pitch. In fact, he's bounced a few up there tonight. That's not a bad play by Cain. He could get in on another wild pitch.
Cain comes way down the line, and that got Cobb's attention. Moving fastball for a strike. Hosmer struck out on a pitch like that one in the first inning, and then he singled to center leading off the 4th and came home on a Mike Moustakas base hit.
Cobb had 3 wild pitches coming into this game, and now he has 3 in this game already, so he's matched his season high in 1 game.
0-2. If you weren't with us earlier in the game, the Royals' scoreless inning streak ended with a home run by Whit Merrifield with 2 down in the 3rd inning, and then the Royals added another run in the 4th. Trying to score in 3 straight against Alex Cobb. And Hosmer hits it out to Morrison, who flips to Cobb, and Cobb's lucky he didn't get stepped on, and the inning ends. So Cain is stranded at third, and at the end of 5, the Royals lead 2-0. have put an end to the scoreless inning streak. They lead 2-0, and Jacob Junis has given up only 1 hit in his first 5 innings. The Royals got more bad news last night when Brian Flynn came out in the middle of his outing. Our University of Kansas Health System injury report update. Brian was placed on the disabled list today with a grade 1 left groin strain. So a mild groin strain, if there is such a thing. And Eric Skoglund was called back up. He had been sent down when Flynn was called up from the minor leagues. Echeverria, number 9 hitter, will lead off. He grounded out to short in the 2nd inning.
A couple more days, they'll have to expand the rosters, won't they? Get all the reinforcements they want. Echeverria tried the bunt, didn't work.
Echeverria is the 18th batter that Junis has faced tonight, 13 of which have seen a first pitch strike. One ball, 1 strike. The only hit that Junis has allowed, it was a clean hit that got between Hosmer and Merrifield. But I'll bet those two would love a do-over.
Ever since I've been here, 2012, Haas has always been aggressive. He wants that ball in that hand. Being left-handed, you know, that hole's exposed. He's going after it. Merrifield, one of the quickest and has some of the best range of any Royals second baseman since I've been here. It's going to get to those balls in the hole easily, and it's a tough habit for Haas to break. But it's up to Whitley to be able to remind Haas with a left-handed batter or even a right-handed batter, hey, anything hits soft to your left, I got it. You just go to the base. So I remember, you know, I had to remind some of my first basemen on that play too, because it's natural for a first baseman, especially as good as Haas, to be aggressive and try to get that ball. So Whitley's got to help him. He's got to remind him, I got it. And he was there, but didn't work. That's an out that they make 10 out of 10 times.
Jake Junis has tied his career high with 7 strikeouts tonight, and he's done it in back-to-back starts. First time he accomplished that was on August the 6th in the 2nd game of the doubleheader against Seattle. That game he went 8 innings, giving up 1 run with 7 strikeouts and no walks. And then Thursday against Colorado, 7 innings and 1 walk. Tonight, 7 strikeouts and no walks, and there's the first real clean base hit for the Rays. Kiermaier's on with 1 out. Coming up on September the 11th, Fox Sports Kansas City will present a special telecast honoring our armed forces. We call it This One's for You. That night we'll link up live with soldiers from the 35th Infantry Regiment of the Missouri and Kansas National Guards. This one's for you, September the 11th here on Fox Sports Kansas City. Lucas Duda has flied to center field and grounded back to Junis. So Junis in his 7 strikeout games against Seattle, 7 strikeouts, no walks. Against Colorado, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, and tonight 7 strikeouts and no walks. It's a remarkable strikeout to walk ratio lately. And remember, he was a diamond in the rough. He was a 29th round pick of the Royals. He was a thrower. He had to learn how to be a pitcher, and in his last 10, look at that, 49 strikeouts against 8 walks.
Well, one of the reasons too, now these are established, polished big league hitters. he's changing speeds on his slider. His slider's ranging 78 to 83 miles an hour. That's a nice little variation. He's changing speeds on it. Some are a little harder than others. And then he's getting them looking at that, and then he has that little sneaky two-seam fastball.
A little bit of a struggle when he was first called up. He had more walks than strikeouts.
It's because he was getting acclimated to big league life and big league hitters. He was a little intimidated, like most pitchers are. And then once he got a few wins, of course, they sent him out. That's how tough this game is. You pitch well, they send you out, but he has options. But then his last 10 outings, he's got the confidence saying, "Hey, look, I belong here. I'm gonna take one of these spots in this rotation and go with it."
Got the call, and it's 3-2.
That's the name of the game up here when you're a young player. You get opportunity, you seize it. Nice glove turn by Salvi. Call it framing it, making it look good. Presentation for home plate umpire Mike Estabrook.
Runner going, Duda.
Interference.
If it is interference, that should be 2 outs. The batter is out by way of a strikeout, then there's an out because of interference. And if they call interference, there should be 2 outs. And that's what Ned Yost is saying. Well, wait a minute, the batter struck out.
Yeah, and did Salvi catch it before it hit the dirt? I mean, there was immediately Salvi, he wanted to throw, but he couldn't. And I think he was looking at Estabrook saying, he's in my way. I couldn't throw it. Let's see if he catches it cleanly first.
Well, it looked like it hit his back foot, but that doesn't matter as long as it's a swing. Boy, Salvi caught that off of his back foot.
And it hit him. That's what he was saying.
Okay, so the argument is whether he was hit or not. Now, Salvi was not attempting a throw right there. Maybe he...
Watch Duda pick up his left foot. See that? In fact, he picked up his left foot. Tells me the ball hit his shoe.
But if he swings, it doesn't matter if it hits him or not.
Right, and the umpire pointed that he swung. Estabrook.
So I think the umpires, what they're discussing right now, I think they have it right. As we watch the replay, Salvi didn't appear to be making a throw down to second base.
Yeah, interesting the way he came up out of there. I don't know if he was pointing saying it hit him. So Ned's telling Wakamatsu what to ask the connoisseur of replay, Bill Duplessis. He's asking him, what are we looking for here? In fact, it hit him. He swung.
Royals are getting some guidance from Bill Duplessis and Mark Topping. So the Royals are asking for a review. So the word is they're asking for a review whether Salvi was interfered with or not. But that is, as far as I know, that is a subjective call, interference and obstruction, which is non-reviewable.
But we saw so much after that with the replay. Watch, his hits his foot. It hits his shoe. Just a tick before Salvi picks it off the ground, and he was trying to throw. And my initial sight when I saw Salvi come up was he was complaining that he was interfered with.
Okay. The challenge is to see if the ball hit due to or not, because if it did, it's still a strikeout because you can get hit in the face by a pitch. But if you swing, it's a swing. The swing trumps being hit. But if he was hit, it's a dead ball. So
but Esterbrook pointed on the swing. He said he swung. So watch Esterbrook. He's going to point and say, yep, that was a swing. And it was a swing.
Yep, and they're gonna make him come back. So kind of confusing.
Yeah.
He was hit by the pitch, but that doesn't matter if the batter swings. The swing trumps whether a batter is hit or not. But if the batter is hit, that makes it a dead ball. Therefore, a runner cannot advance on a dead ball, even though Kiermaier would have been safe. So they weren't challenging interference. They were challenging Duda's foot being struck by the pitch. So it's a strikeout. And after all that, a career high 8 strikeouts for Jacob Junis. Kiermaier has to go back to first base, and now 2 down.
It made him work for that strikeout.
Bill Duplessis, the connoisseur of replays, is 3 for 3 tonight. Just in case you're scoring at home.
Makes him 21-7 overall this year, which is the best in baseball.
Base hit left field, so that's a big play. Kiermaier goes first to third. Without the Royals picking that up, that the ball went off of Duda's foot. It's a 2-1 game with Kiermaier scoring from second base. Instead, it's first and third and 2 down. And Ned has Scott Alexander ready to go in the bullpen. Jacob Junis, with 73 pitches, is going through the Rays order for a 3rd time, and Logan Morrison has 32 home runs. And Ned says, that is plenty from you, young man. And he'll get a big ovation as he heads to the first base dugout, and he deserves it. Rusty Kuntz goes over and gives Jacob Junis a hug. He has allowed 1 run in his last 11 innings. He is responsible for runners at first and third with 2 down, and Logan Morrison coming up with his 32 home runs. And our sprint trivia question: name the other 5, as we'll give you one of the 6 right here. The other 5 in Rays history to hit 32 or more home runs in a single season.
Since you've been carrying the trivia all week, let me have Morrison. There's one for me. He's it. It's him.
I just said that he's one.
I know, but I want him. I want to claim him. Let me have him.
No, too late.
All right,
I already used it.
I'm going with the crime dog, Fred McGriff.
That's correct.
Okay.
Scott Alexander with Kiermaier at third and Longoria at first.
Sinker slider.
Loud and deep, but foul. Morrison struck out looking and flied to center against Junis.
Sinkers down. Sinkers down and away. Sliders away. Nothing up in his wheelhouse. Merrifield playing shallow right. They believe he's going to pull still. Oh.
Morrison singles to center field. That makes it 2-1. So how about that for a quick adjustment? After hitting one a mile to right field foul, he goes into left center field and drives in a run.
Yeah, it's up. Yeah, up. It's not going to work. Good swing.
And now another dangerous hitter, Steven Souza Jr. He was 0 for 2 against Junis, and he's hit 28 home runs this year. Salvi pulls it out of the dirt with a backhand. Now he's going to go out and have a chat with Alexander. Okay, so Logan Morrison, Fred McGriff. How about Greg Vaughn? No.
I had him on my list. How about Carlos Pena? He's doing a fine job at the MLB Network, by the way. Enjoy his.
Very briefly a Royal, Carlos Pena.
Okay.
Two and one. Just inside, 3-1 on Steven Souza Jr. Full count. And now Longoria will be running from second and Morrison from first. Pulled foul past third base coach Charlie Montoyo.
Ball is so heavy that hitters just hit the top of it, especially righties. They roll over.
Runners take off again, and it is ball 4 to load the bases. Junis is responsible for Longoria at third, and now Morrison at second, and Steven Souza Jr. at first are the responsibility of Scott Alexander, who's about to have a little chat with Dave Island. We showed you earlier how much the Rays rely on home runs. One of the highest percentages of any major league team. But when they are not hitting home runs, they struggle scoring runs. Hitting with runners in scoring position, they are 13th in the American League. With 2 outs, they are 11th.
Makes sense. You know, the big swings, percentage of making contact with a big long swing is not as good as a short little contact swing. All goes down to situational hitting. But with them loaded up nowadays, guys want the big grand slam.
Low ball 1 to Dickerson. Now the numbers do not look very good for this matchup, but I'm not so sure Ned Yost was thinking as much about lefty and lefty against righty here. He was thinking keep the ball on the ground with some big home run hitters coming up.
Yep.
And he got a ground ball out to Merrifield. So the Rays leave the bases loaded. They do get their first run on an RBI from Logan Morrison. It is 2-1 Royals to the bottom of the 6th. Last out of the top of the 6th inning, he allows an inherited run to score, which was charged to Jacob Junis, but the Royals lead 2-1 to the bottom of the 6th, which is our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Ree Luttrell from Wamego. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, that's worth $1,300. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, it's $25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. Rhea Salvador Perez, Mike Moustakas, and Jorge Bonifacio against Alex Cobb. He allowed runs in the 3rd and 4th innings. Cobb has gotten Salvador Perez to ground out to shortstop twice. Curveball for strike 1. Salvi has 21 home runs, one shy of his career high from last year. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. He has been stuck on 21 for a while. Mike Moustakas on deck has been stuck on 35 for a while. Pulled foul, and it's 1-2.
Steady diet of breaking balls. Ramos is not going to call for a heater unless he really has to. Maybe up. It might be a fastball up. Raise that eye level after all the breaking balls, but he's going to stay with the hook.
And that one stayed high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cobb has given up a lot of home runs to right-hand batters this year. That one really got away from him. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's either overthrowing it or something. I mean, that's 2 in a row that he wasn't happy with.
Went at him with a fastball. Cobb has struck out 6 tonight. Also coming up on September the 10th with Minnesota in town, it's Star Wars Day here at Kauffman Stadium. It's a theme ticket. If you purchase that theme ticket, you'll receive an exclusive Drew Butera TIE Fighter Pilot bobblehead. And then watch the Royals and the Twins. To purchase that theme ticket, go to royals.com/theme tickets. Curveball hangs high. Mike Moustakas flied out in the 2nd inning, and then with the count 0-2 in the 4th, he went the other way. He singled to left and drove in Eric Hosmer, and right now that's the difference. 2-1 Royals in the 6th. That's going to be a long run for 2 Rays. And Echeverria almost overran it. It makes a very nice play in shallow left field for the 2nd out.
That's why when you play that pull shift like that, you put your shortstop as the only guy on the left side of the infield, because typically the shortstop has better range, quicker, faster, and that was a good example there. That ball, that was a single all the way, but Echeverria ran far to get to it. Cobb saying, yeah, good play, because that looked like that was going to fall in for a hit.
Jorge Bonifacio takes a fastball for a strike.
When the Rays made that trade and got Echeverria from the Marlins, they moved the shortstop Tim Beckham to 2nd base, and Beckham was going to play regularly every day, but he wasn't happy. He voiced his displeasure, and Rays said, well, it's too bad because you would be a good fit here and this would work. And he goes, no, I want to play shortstop. They moved him.
And he had been losing playing time early in the season to Brad Miller, who's now at 2nd base. Beckham was the 1st overall pick in 08. So that was 9 years ago, and he really hasn't taken off as a big leaguer until this short period of time with the Baltimore Orioles. So I'm sure in his mind he's thinking it was time for him to play every day.
Yep.
Breaking ball is pounded deep to left field, gone. Number 16 for Jorge Bonifacio, and he has another home run on a curveball. And Rhea Littrell, that's $1,300 on its way to Wamego, Kansas.
Hey, there you go, Rhea. Bonifacio, how about this? A hanger. Whoa, man, that's not the right pitch to this guy. Told you already, hitting well over 300 against breaking balls, and he hung that one. And I believe he has a chance to hit 20 home runs. It would surpass the rookie record Eric Hosmer in 2011. I believe it.
Moss is out on a fly ball to left field, so the Rays just got a run in the top of the 6th, and Jorge Bonifacio gets that run right back. Royals baseball is brought to you by Thoroughbred Ford. Every day there's a great deal waiting for you at Thoroughbred Ford. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all for less. Royals offices are quiet at the moment, with everyone watching the Royals, hoping they'll end a 5-game losing streak tonight. Jorge Bonifacio just hit his 16th home run of the year to give the Royals a 3-1 lead. Alex Gordon takes over in left for Brandon Moss. And Brandon Maurer takes over on the mound for Scott Alexander. He's a Chevy call to the bullpen. Line foul off the bat of Wilson Ramos.
Maurer, 6'6", 230. See the numbers. The ERA is a little bit high, and for his kind of stuff, that's what they're trying to work with. Get that ERA down. 52 strikeouts and 51 to third. He's got that kind of stuff. Mid to upper 90s. Fastball, excellent slider, good downward motion to it. And changeup, very effective. Dave Island, who's the master at tinkering with these pitchers and trying to get them right, wanted to move Maurer to the right side, to the third base side of the pitching rubber. He's been pitching from the first base side, just to create a little different angle, because he's been leaving too many fastballs in the middle of the plate. He tried it, you know, in season he tried it, and he gave up a couple of hits, and he went right back over there to that first base side where he is now. And the reason is he's competing for a living. He has to be able to be comfortable where he's standing and how he's performing. And if he's not, now's not the time to experiment with it. If he's not convicted fully with it, he's not sold in, he's going to stay with what he's got now. Dave was explaining that to me, and you know, I agree with that. If you're not 100% convicted and you're competing against the world's greatest, you're not going to have success.
Witt goes out, Bonifacio comes in, and Ramos is 0 for 3. StubHub is your ticket out to once-in-a-lifetime experiences, from Royals games to concerts to shows you just don't want to miss. StubHub connects you to the world of live. StubHub, your ticket out, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Kansas City Royals.
Look at that smile. Bonifacio saying, all right, this is hold him there. Let's get back in that win column. But I made a comment about Hosmer and his 19 home runs he hit in 2011. Haas does not have the rookie record for homers. Bob Hamlin does. Hammer hit 24 in 1994.
And was Rookie of the Year that year.
Yeah. My bad, Bob. Sorry about that.
He watches most of our games too. And when he can't catch the games on TV, he streams them live on his mobile device. So
well, if he
chances are pretty good that he's offended.
If he confronts me physically, can I outrun him now at this age? You think? He's a lot younger than me.
That is a line drive home run to the facing above the Rays bullpen, and that is home run number 7 for Brad Miller, and we're back to a 1-run game.
Looked like he tried to spin it. Slider just stayed out over the plate.
Echeverria with 1 out. He's jammed and fouls it back to the netting on a pitch that was 100 miles an hour. Echeverria has grounded out to short, and he is struck out. Well, I've been telling you all night, the Rays, they hit home runs. They had 3 in the game last night. That was their 186th home run of the year. Last year, they hit 216 home runs, which was a franchise record. This year, they're on pace to hit right around 230. Escobar cuts it off and throws out the Rays shortstop. 2 down. So home runs are fun, and they're usually part of the post-game highlights. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to score a lot of runs. Last year, the Rays hit 216 home runs. That was 4th in the American League, but they scored the 2nd fewest runs in the league. This year, 4th in the league in home runs and 10th in the league in runs scored. Mike Moustakas throws out Kevin Kiermaier. The inning is over, but Miller's home run makes it a 1-run game. Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Chris Sale got his 1,500th strikeout, becoming the fastest in Major League history. He did it in fewer than 1,300 innings. Adrian Beltre, who got his 3,000th hit earlier this year, he has now passed Ernie Banks on the RBI list. with 1,637. And Byron Buxton, we're going to see him over the weekend. He had 17 RBIs in his first 92 games, and now he has 21 in his last 19. And he had a 3-home run game in Toronto this past weekend.
I think he figured something out.
Brad Miller homer to right field against Brandon Maurer to make it a 3-2 game. And now Brad Boxberger, the one-time Rays closer, comes on for the bottom of the 7th inning. And he'll get Escobar, Merrifield, and Kane.
Look at those numbers there. Pretty impressive. This is 21st game. 22 strikeouts. Excellent changeup.
Blooped. Shallow left center field and down for a base hit. Escobar is 1 for 3.
Not wasting any time. Inside heater by Boxberger. He jammed him, but that's perfectly located. And a nice doinker.
A desperation dive, and Echeverria never really got close to it. The Royals answered the Rays in the bottom of the 6th, and now trying to answer them in the bottom of the 7th. Whit Merrifield hit a solo home run in the 3rd inning to give the Royals a 1-0 lead, and it wasn't just any run for the Royals. It put an end to their 45 consecutive innings scoreless drought, or scoreless streak. And that was with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Then the Royals got another run in the 4th, and then another run in the 6th.
Boxberger's fastball slider change. Loves his changeup.
No balls, 2 strikes. Here it is, our Ram drive of the game.
Beautiful too. You know, that pitch was 3 or 4 inches on the inner half. He's able to pull his hands in to get the barrel on it.
Escobar got a good jump, and that's sharply hit right to Longoria. That'll get Escobar to second base and no further, but Whit hit it right on the nose, but right to Longoria.
Little run and hit going on there. Escobar, gosh, that ball, you couldn't even see it on the way to Longoria. That ball was crushed.
No runner in scoring position for Lorenzo Cain. He has, thanks to replay, 2 infield singles tonight. Twice he was called out by first base umpire Bill Welke at first base. Both times the Royals challenged, and both times the call was overturned. A slider for strike 1. The Royals drafted Brad Boxberger out of high school in the 20th round 11 years ago. He declined and went to the University of Southern California. That was his dream because his dad had pitched there and won a national championship for the Trojans. And then he was taken in the 1st round by the Reds after spending 3 years in college. Down and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. And I mentioned he was a one-time Rays closer Just 2 years ago, he led the American League with 41 saves. And then it's spent quite a bit of time on the disabled list the last 2 years. Two and two. Two more hits for Lorenzo Cain against the Rays. What else is new? If you go back to the beginning of 2014, Lorenzo Cain is 36 for 78.
That's pretty good numbers there. Stay on it.
3 and 2. Melky Cabrera's on deck. Way outside, and Cain is on with a 1-out walk. If you can't catch a game on TV, you can always stream games live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Royals. So Escobar in scoring position, Cain's at first. And now Melky Cabrera, who is 0 for 3.
Big time for Melky. Melky's due to check in. Ooh, there's the change. The first one we've seen. Boxberger, he's got an excellent changeup. Melky's got no RBIs in his last 11 games. There's a change. Look at that. It's a floater now. It's elevated. You can hit that one. It's time for Melky to knock in a run.
One ball, one strike.
Arms in the outfield, not too bad. Souza Jr. in right has a good arm. He only has 4 outfield assists. Kiermaier has 4 in center. Dickerson 3 in left. Fairly shallow in left field is Dickerson. Melky hits the ball usually where it's pitched.
1 ball, 2 strikes. There's the changeup again, and he struck him out.
See, he holds that thumb and index finger together, puts that ball in the back 3 hands, and really turns it over. It's almost like a screwball. It's a really excellent pitch.
It's a different uniform, but this is a familiar pitching change. That's Dan Jennings, the one-time White Sox lefty who had come in all the time when the Royals are facing Chicago to face Eric Hosmer. And he's coming on to face Hosmer with 2 on and 2 out. departs with 2 on base. MLB.TV Premium is the #1 live streaming sports service. It's back with better picture quality than ever before, allowing you to watch every out-of-market game live at home, in the office, or on the go. Blackout restrictions do apply. It's the first time with the Rays, but it's the 6th time this year that Dan Jennings has come on to face Eric Hosmer.
And Haas has been around the league long enough to know, National League or American League, this guy's going to throw breaking balls middle away, trying to get him to swing on it. Yeah, Jennings has a pretty good fastball. 89 to 94, big slider.
Ball 1 inside.
Wants to bring that heater, show him that heater. Haas owned just 3 hits and 18 at bats. It's like a lousy single here to get that run back.
Escobar opened the inning with a single. With 1 out, Kane walked, and now there are 2 down. One ball, 1 strike. Former Nebraska Cornhusker Dan Jennings from West Des Moines and Valley High School, where he won 2 high school state championships, 2004, 2005. Upstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. The radar reading isn't that impressive, but he really pops the glove. He is firm at 91 to 93.
Hitters call that sneaky. He's sneaky quick, and it's a lot has to do with his quick, fast twitch delivery. I mean, he's quick from start to finish. He goes fast, but the part of it is he takes his time. He makes the hitter wait 2, 3, 4 seconds.
That's drilled deep left center field and just over the wall for a 3-run home run. Breathe, Kansas City, breathe. The Royals have 6 tonight.
Wow, Jennings not mixing in his slider, throwing Hosmer 3 straight fastballs, man. Right, all of them right there. Haas not taking this one, says you're going to keep throwing me heaters. I'll take this one, 92, right down the middle. Oppo, man, nice swing. To go opposite field, whether you're a righty or a lefty here in this ballpark, impressive. Hits the top of the wall.
It is August, late August. There is no wind. It's not your typical August weather. It's been like that all month. 68 degrees, which makes a home run from a left-hand batter to that spot even more impressive. Remember how many balls just died in the outfield in the last homestand with Colorado here. Salvi grounds out. He is 0 for 4, but Eric Hosmer gives the Royals some breathing room. It is 6-2 KC. Well, you never know. The Royals had gone 45 consecutive innings without scoring a run. That ended with 2 outs in the 3rd inning on a Whit Merrifield home run. The Royals added a run in the 4th, and then Jorge Bonifacio homered in the 6th. And then Eric Hosmer. This is a 3-run home run to the opposite field against Dan Jennings, just over the wall. And the Royals have 6 tonight in their first 7 innings. And then on the mound, another solid outing for Jacob Junis, allowing just 1 run in 5 2/3 innings. He had a career high 8 strikeouts against no walks. And now it's Mike Minor in the 8th inning.
Fantastic job on the mound. But Haas, you know, he threw him 3 heaters in a row, and on the 4th one, I believe, is the one he got. But I mean, I'm surprised Jennings, who has an excellent slider, didn't throw him a slider.
This is the 52nd appearance for Mike Minor. He'll get a couple of left-hand batters, Duda and Morrison. Evan Longoria will hit between those 2 lefties.
Minor's good fastball. We've seen even in the second half of the season. Here's some 96s and 97. Slider, change, all 3 good pitches when he's down where he wants to be.
Moustakas is the only infielder on the left side, and from his original position, shortstop, he throws out Duda, and Lucas Duda is 0 for 4.
Let's go back and show you that big key 3-run home run by Haas. A first pitch, 91 heater. That's inside. He took it again. Haas took. Nah. Okay, that's 3. 4th one. You can't do that. No. Now, you can't sneak a cheese by a very hungry rat. But today I'm shopping at Price Chopper, and one of my friends, a senior citizen that works there, said, "Hey, are the rats not hungry?" I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "Well, they've been sneaking cheese by the rats, but they must not be hungry." I said, no. They're hungry. They're just not getting the piece of cheese they like. That one that Haas got, he liked.
Fastball right by Longoria. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning, and that was the only base runner the Rays had in the first 4 innings against Junis until Dickerson singled in the 5th. And Longoria also has a single in the 6th. 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Still 2-2. Every time the Royals turn a double play, the next day McDouble sandwiches are only $1 at participating McDonald's in the greater KC, St. Joe, and Lawrence locations. Did he go? No. Bill Welke is the first base umpire. Whoa. That is back into a crowd of 25,204 on a Tuesday night. As we revisit our sprint trivia question, 6 players in Rays history have hit 32 or more home runs in a single season. That's one of them right there, who has done it this year, Logan Morrison. How about the guy at the plate, Evan Longoria?
There you go.
All right, we have also identified Fred McGriff and Carlos Pena, so there's 2 more. With some help, as Longoria strikes out with some help by way of a text. How about Jose Canseco?
How about?
That's correct.
Okay, I got one. Aubrey Huff. Remember that guy?
I remember that guy.
Okay. We got him. Crime Dog, man. How about that? I believe he's 1 home run shy of 500. 499. How could that happen?
Well, you just get stuck on 499. Morrison takes a strike.
Oh, he's 493. My bad.
Now, how did that happen?
Well, I love the crime.
Somebody
dog.
took 6 home runs away from him.
He's in the family. I made a mistake again. Sorry.
Yep. Oh, wait a minute. We checked again. Now he has 484 home runs. What's going on?
We got to get
Remember
it right.
the Bernie Mac movie, Mr. 3000?
Yeah.
He had 3,000 hits, but then they went through the box scores and they realized that he was 1 hit shy of 3,000, so he made a comeback to.
Yeah.
Kane has it measured. Mike Minor has a 1-2-3 top of the 8th inning. With a home run in the 3rd. The Royals have 3 home runs and 6 runs tonight. If they hang on tonight, they have the opportunity to turn a 5-game losing streak into a winning series. Jason Vargas tomorrow against Jake Odorizzi. Dan Jennings stays on to face Mike Moustakas and throws a strike. Jennings gave up a 3-run home run to Eric Hosmer in the 7th inning. He came in to face Eric Hosmer. Hosmer had been just 3 out of 18 against Jennings. 0-2 on Moustakas. He is 1 out of 3 with an RBI single.
Threw Haas 4 straight fastballs and now nothing but sliders to Moose.
One and 2. The Rays picked up Dan Jennings, Edeni Echeverria, Lucas Duda around the deadline. Broken bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Rays, in beating the Royals last night, actually passed the Royals in the wild card standings. Seattle ahead of the Royals in the wild card standings. They lost, but the team that beat them was Baltimore. They're ahead of the Royals. The Angels, who are ahead of the Royals in the wild card, are losing at Arizona. And Minnesota, the surprise team in the American League this year, 67-63. They are leading at home 6-3 in the bottom of the 7th, and that's where the Royals will be over the weekend, at Minnesota. Two and two. Three balls, two strikes. The Rays are one game under 500. On July 18th, they were 7 games over 500. And that's when they started adding to their roster. Echeverria, diving play, off balance throw. No chance to get Moustakas, and he has his second hit.
Second hit to the opposite field. Like that. You know what? He's getting his hits, and the home run is coming. I guarantee you, it's coming. Look at Echeverria. What an athlete. That home run's coming. It's Moose's 9th infield hit. Way to leg it out, Moose.
Jorge Bonifacio. He is 2 out of 3 with a home run. He jumped on an Alex Cobb curveball with 2 down in the 6th inning and homered to left field.
Oh, belt high. Good swing. Look at how nice that is. Very well balanced in his lower half. Great hands.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. Going back to the Rays being 7 games over 500 on July 18th. They were just 2 games out in the East, and they had the top wild card spot. Now that's a long way away from the end of the regular season. But since getting to that high water mark, 7 games over 500, the Rays have lost 23 of 38. Two and two on Bonifacio. Still 2 and 2. That's drilled deep center field, but Kiermaier, a great center fielder, got a good first step. Bonifacio lines out, 1 away.
Good swing. Jumped all over that.
This will be Alex Gordon's first at bat. He took over in left field for Brandon Moss in the top of the 7th. Alex was 0 for 3 last night. Was that a swing? Apparently not. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 2. In case you're wondering, they did not play at the University of Nebraska at the same time. Alex Gordon preceded Dan Jennings. Alex was drafted in 05, Jennings in 09. But I'm sure they both do the secret handshake every time they see each other.
Sure they do.
Broken bat, 1 hop to Longoria, and the force, which goes 5-6. That should rarely write down on your scorecard. That gets Moustakas at second base, 2 down. Royals' biggest inning tonight was a 3-run 7th inning, and Alcides Escobar got that going with a leadoff single. He and Lorenzo Cain scored on the 3-run home run by Eric Hosmer. Fastball over the outside for strike 1. Escobar had been 1 for his last 20 when he got that leadoff base hit in the 7th. Didn't mean to do it, and he's down 0-2. This is consecutive start number 302 for Escobar at shortstop. And again, that's the longest streak for a shortstop since Cal Ripken passed Lou Gehrig for the all-time consecutive games played at any position. Alex will move up to second base.
That's impressive streak by Escobar, no doubt about it. I don't think Cal Ripken Jr. is worried about his streak, but why not praise Escobar for his? It's not easy to do, especially shortstop. And he loves to play. Loves taking infield, goes out, gets his work in.
Two and 2.
I like Alex Gordon ready to advance on that ball in the dirt. That's just another way that Ned Yost is saying, hey, look, guys, you know, let's just hang in there. We're going to get through this. Everybody's hustling. They're all playing hard. We just haven't had any good luck. But advancing on that ball, especially if Esky gets him in here, let's doing the little things. Brought it up before, but you were there when
Cal Ripken got the record.
That's the highlight of my career.
Yeah.
Just another 0 for 4.
And almost got taken down by the Secret Service, right?
No.
When you went running into the clubhouse.
That was at Dodger Stadium when President Bush was in office, and I ran with all my gloves, and I was coming up the tunnel in Dodger Stadium, and because it was during batting practice, and the trainer raised his hand, said, "Come on in." Some of the players, so we went in. I was running up the tunnel in the Secret Service, and that was that time. But the other one was when I caught the ball off of Cal Ripken's bat when the streak became official. I was at second base, flared one out in right center.
Escobar is on with 2 down.
And I caught it, and I shook it because I was just happy I caught him last out so I could keep the souvenir. And I ran past my teammates and I put it in my bag and hid it so no one would take my diamond. It's like a 4-carat diamond.
But wasn't President Clinton there that night?
He was there, and so was the vice president. Anybody else in baseball was there.
Okay.
But that wasn't where this.
Because normally you can go wherever you want to, right? You can go to the dugout when you want to. You can go to the clubhouse when you want to. You can run down to the field when you want to as a player, except when the president is in the stadium.
Yeah. But the time at Dodger Stadium, the president was in the locker room, so they had their guys. He was down there. But
did they take you down?
Oh no,
Were any weapons drawn?
No. I stopped because I saw them and they were looking at me like, "We're not going anywhere." And I went, "Oh, whoa, hey, I just have my batting glove, or just my gloves here." That's an easy out.
That'll be the easiest play Longoria has all year. So the Royals strand 2, and we head to the 9th inning. And Kelvin Herrera is on to get the last 3 outs.
Ninth inning. When this game is over, we'll talk about it all coming up on Boulevard Royals Live. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery getting ready, and the Royals finally score a run. Not just one, but 6 of them, and we'll talk about all those home runs. Plus, once again, Jacob Junis, very good on the mound, making his pitch to be Royals Pitcher of the Month in August. How good has he been? We'll hear from Ned Yost, reaction, and much more coming up on Boulevard Royals Live. Ryan?
Thank you, Joel. Here is Kelvin Herrera to put an end, the Royals hope, to the 5-game losing streak in a non-save situation. Steven Souza Jr., Corey Dickerson, and Wilson Ramos. Fouled back by Steven Souza Jr. Funny little personal story tying into the Royals being shut out in 4 consecutive games. That tied a major league record. No team had ever been shut out in 5 consecutive games. 0-2 on Steven Souza Jr. So last night was the 4th straight, first time in Royals history. And I know I had mentioned at least 2 or 3 times last night that the last time before the Royals that had occurred was in '92.
Cubs, right?
Souza's down on strike, right? The Chicago Cubs in 1992.
Okay.
Well, that didn't mean anything to me. Clearly didn't mean anything to you.
Yeah. Well, I
mean,
I was impressed with when you were mentioning all those teams. A lot of those teams were championship teams. It wasn't like
there were some winning teams in there.
Yeah.
And then I get a text message at home at about 11:45 last night from Holtzy.
Okay.
With some information that I'd completely forgotten. Corey Dickerson is 1 for 3. Let's see if I can dig up Holtzy's text so I can report it word for word. Here's Holtzy. Here's the text right here. Holtzy texts me. I'm sorry, Holtzy. It was 11:25, so it wasn't that late. Didn't think of it until now, but your dad managed the 1992 Cubs.
Oh, man.
The last team to be shut out in 4 straight games. It did not register last night when we were talking about it, so I was curious and I thought, I'm going to call him, and gives me a reason to call my dad.
Yeah.
See what he remembers about 1992, hoping that he wouldn't be bitter about it. It's been a while. It's been 25 years.
Yeah, it might give you a couple of nuggets.
Yeah.
Like what did you do, Dad?
Yeah.
To your team? Was it a rallying cry or?
Well, after several hours of him not returning my call, I thought, well, that answers the question right there. I was waiting to hear from his attorney to inform me that I had been taken out of the will for just bringing that up.
Right.
But finally, he called me back early this evening, and he did not remember it.
Oh, bummer.
Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So I bring that up because we may talk about this for another week or so, or who knows, maybe even it'll come up if the Royals have another scoring drought until the end of the regular season. But the point is, those streaks can be easily forgotten. 3 balls, 2 strikes, based on what happens in the days that follow. Now, Tampa Bay, they got shut out 5 times on 1 homestand. Not 5 in a row, but wow, 5 times on 1 homestand in early August. And then their offense took off.
I feel like it could happen here easily.
Still 3-2, but you're right. We started going through some of the teams over the last 30 years or so that had long scoreless streaks, right around 40 innings or so, and I was surprised a lot of those teams were winning teams.
Yeah. So
a couple of them went to the World Series.
Yeah, you're not immune to any virus in this game. Doesn't matter first or last place.
The 92 Cubs went down to Tom Glavine, Charlie Leibrandt, John Smoltz, and Greg Swindell. And their 4 consecutive shutouts. That Ned Yost saw 3 of those because he was a coach on Bobby Cox's staff for those 92 Braves team. Alex in for defense a couple of innings ago, lays out, but it's foul. And it's still 3-2 on Corey Dickerson.
Great effort. Don't you love it? Did everything he could to snag that out. It just was foul. Four-run lead his team's got. He's out there getting some Trevor Turf on his uniform.
Back-to-back strikeouts and 2 down in the 9th inning. Good to see Herrera throwing like he is tonight after that little scare on the last homestand when he had to come out in the middle of the 9th inning.
Yeah, no, they got to have him closing games down. There's some 97. Beautiful job. Good at bat by Dickerson. But Herrera's power just was too much.
25,204 on a Tuesday night to cheer the Royals through their scoreless streak, and now hoping to cheer them on to victory. Ball one on Wilson Ramos. Popped up. And the guy who ended the streak ends the 5-game losing streak. Whit Merrifield hit a home run to end the streak at 45 consecutive scoreless innings. But more importantly, with where the Royals are at this point in the season, the 5-game losing streak is over.
Great to see the offense, but I'm going to tell you what, the tone was set by Jake Junis. Outstanding way to take that ball, young man, and go as deep as you could. Ned took him out, and he had plenty left, but look, fantastic job.
The Royals had the lead, but they could really begin to breathe after our Honda play of the game. Eric Hosmer's 2-out, 3-run home run in the 7th inning.
Oh, just got over. All right, you want it? You got it. El Toro! Ole! Okay, there you go, sir.
We haven't said that in a while.
No, and that's all right. Felt good. Fans here chanting, "Let's go Royals." I'm telling you, this team's got something left. Believe it. There's plenty left in these players that are all seniors this year, about ready to graduate. Not all of them, but some of them.
All right, let's go down to the field. And Joel, a lot happened in between Eric Hosmer 3-run home runs.
Yeah, the last crooked number was when Haas hit that walk-off, and now back here. Before I asked you about grinding through this recent streak, how much did it help just when Whit gets that first home run? Did that just give you a chance to exhale a little bit?
Yeah, it was huge. It took a lot of pressure off us. You know, we all knew what was going on, so it was big for us to get one out of the way and get this victory.
He says, "Papa, we got to go with everything here." So that was like, what, the 4-cup pour. So, you know, you guys have been in this game for a long time. You've experienced all the highs and lows. It's why you're able to handle this. But you've never been through a streak like that. How tough was it? How did you grind through it?
Well, you realize when you leave spring training, you know, you're going to have ups and downs throughout the season. You hope not to have the downs that bad, but just is what it is. And, you know, we have confidence in each other, and there's a lot of character in that dugout to have the confidence that we're going to break out of there.
Last thing, Jacob Junis is now one shy of the most wins for an American League rookie this year. He's been spectacular in August. What has he meant to this team and again tonight?
Yeah, and he's been coming up in some key situations, some key days where we've had to save the bullpen, and he's stepped up big for us. And, you know, he's firing strikes, trusting his defense. He's really doing a great job, and it was another great outing tonight.
Nice to see the bats and the offense back, and good luck tomorrow in the series finale.
All right, appreciate it.
Eric Hosmer with the final dagger, that big crooked number, and a chance to exhale and smile with the win.
You got that right. And this was it. Eric Hosmer turning a 3-2 game into a 6-2 game with that home run.